This is the history of FC Barcelona. November 29th, 1899, Barcelona. Joan Gamper, a Swiss engineer passionate about football, walked along the bustling streets of Barcelona in search of his next meal. He'd come to the city 5 years earlier to work as an engineer and had since fallen in love with the culture and people of Catalonia. But he was missing something, a piece of his soul that only his beloved sport could fill: football. Back home in Switzerland and England, football was booming. Now it was all anyone ever talked about. And when you loved the sport, there was no escaping its infectious passion. England had established the Football Association in 1863, while Switzerland had followed suit 2 decades later. For Gamper, football wasn't just a game, it was a way of life. Yet in Barcelona, he struggled to find traces of his favorite pastime. The city seemed devoid of any football culture at all. But instead of getting discouraged, an idea started taking root in his mind. Why not bring football to Barcelona? Of course, it would be a challenge, but not insurmountable. Not if he could get some like-minded people together. So he took a step back, assessed the situation, and came up with a plan. He decided to place an ad in the sports section of a local newspaper called Los Deportes, inviting anyone interested in forming a football club to meet at a local gym. On November 29th, 1899, 11 men gathered in that gym, marking the beginning of what would one day become a global phenomenon known as FC Barcelona. Among them were English teachers, a painter, and even a molder, all united by a common passion. They drew lots to decide on the name of their new team. One of the contenders was FC Barcelona, proposed by none other than Gamper himself. Although they didn't know it yet, they had chosen wisely. With the name settled, it was time to choose their colors. Inspired by his former team FC Basel, Gamper suggested blue and red. The group agreed, unaware that these colors would soon become iconic, but they still needed to draft some bylaws and decide who would lead the group. Once again, Gamper stood out, being elected as the first president of this new club. And so, on November 29th, 1899, the Football Club Barcelona was born, setting in motion a chain of events that would change football forever. Their first match was against a team made up of British expatriates. They lost, but the spirit of the club was already running through the veins of those early players. While their talent was undeniable, the team was hampered by the fact that each player had to cover his own travel expenses. In a historical quirk, their first trophy, won in 1902, went officially unrecognized. The Copa Macaya, a regional tournament, was not considered an official competition, but for Barcelona, it was the perfect start to their competitive journey. They defeated their rivals from the day, the Hispania FC, by a resounding 12-1. And although they weren't playing for money, this victory had a monetary reward. Each player received 25 pesetas. But it wasn't all about the prize money. This team played for the glory of their city and the honor of their club. In those humble beginnings, FC Barcelona became a symbol of Catalan identity. Yet they faced challenges beyond the football pitch. Spain's strict laws prohibited large gatherings, forcing them to train secretly and play their matches away from prying eyes. Despite the obstacles, the club grew. By 1905, it boasted over 700 members, making it the largest sports club in Catalonia. But they still lacked their own stadium. In a major breakthrough, in 1909, they moved into the Campo de la Industria on the Carrer de la Industria street, now known as the Mini Estadi. It might have only held 6,000 spectators, but for the team and their supporters, it was their home. The following year, Barcelona won their first major trophy, the Copa del Rey. But off the field, political tensions were escalating. Spain was on the brink of civil war. As the conflict loomed, the clubs found themselves caught in the crossfire. When the Spanish Civil War erupted in 1936, the Camp de la Industria became a military barracks, leaving Barcelona without a home. Through it all, the club's president, Josep Sunyer, remained defiant. The club was more than just a sports team. It was a cornerstone of Catalan culture and identity, and no one could break its spirit. After years of hardship, peace returned to Spain, and with it, hope for a brighter future. On April 12, 1942, Barcelona's new home opened its gates. The Camp de l'Écor, with a capacity of 60,000, was the largest stadium in the country. The team, led by the legendary Josep Samitier, achieved great success in the 40s. They won 8 league titles and 3 Copa del Rey trophies. But then tragedy struck. In 1957, a fire destroyed the old stadium. Once again, Barcelona found itself homeless. Undeterred, they built a new Camp Nou, which was inaugurated on September 24, 1957. The legendary Laszlo Kubala, a Hungarian forward, scored the first goal. Barcelona's European journey began on October 13, 1956, when they participated in the inaugural edition of the European Cup, now known as the Champions League. In the quarter-finals, they faced the formidable defending champions, Real Madrid. Unfortunately, Barcelona lost 3-0 on aggregate, marking the end of their journey in that year's competition. However, this experience ignited a rivalry that would captivate Europe. Over the next few decades, Barcelona and Real Madrid would clash countless times in the European Cup, becoming one of football's most heated rivalries. The 1970s brought another golden era. The legendary Johan Cruyff joined Barcelona in 1973, transforming the team's style of play and achieving 4 league titles. But the club's trajectory took a surprising turn in 1982. Cruyff left and the club entered a period of decline, going 14 years without winning a major trophy. However, the arrival of a young Dutch coach named Rinus Michels marked a turning point. Michels implemented the famed total football strategy, focusing on quick passing and fluid movement, a philosophy that would later define Barcelona's playing style. Under his guidance, Barcelona regained their dominance, winning 3 consecutive league titles from 1984 to 1986. But it was in 1991 that a new star emerged, Hristo Stoichkov, a Bulgarian striker who single-handedly led the team to their 21st league title, scoring 34 goals in the process. In 1994, Johan Cruyff returned to the club, this time as coach, where he discovered a promising young player named Pep Guardiola. Under Cruyff's mentorship, Guardiola rose through the ranks, becoming captain of the first team in 1993. Together, they achieved 4 league titles, 3 Copa del Rey trophies, and 1 Champions League in 1992, a feat made even more remarkable by the team's innovative play style. They captivated audiences worldwide with their dazzling tiki-taka passing game. However, after Cruyff's departure in 1996, the club's fortunes took a downturn. They went 9 years without a major trophy until the arrival of a new manager, Frank Rijkaard, who broke the drought by winning the 2005 Champions League. In the 2008-09 season, Pep Guardiola took over as head coach, ushering in a glorious era that saw the club win 3 consecutive league titles and 2 Champions Leagues. During this period, Barcelona showcased an extraordinary level of dominance, playing an attractive brand of football that thrilled fans. Despite their on-field brilliance, controversy wasn't far behind. The 2014-15 season witnessed a power struggle between the club's board and its legendary player, Pep Guardiola, leading to his departure. Luis Enrique took charge and continued the team's tradition of success, winning the treble in his first season. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., known simply as Neymar, transferred to the club in 2013 for a then world record fee of €1 million. His partnership with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez formed a formidable attacking trio. As the years passed, Barcelona continued to be a force to be reckoned with in both domestic and European competitions. The Camp Nou echoed with the cheers of countless victories, solidifying the club's status as a global icon. And here we are today, looking back at the incredible journey of FC Barcelona, a club that dared to dream big on a cold November day in 1899. From humble beginnings to international acclaim, their story is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and the unifying force of football. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and join us on this amazing journey. Thank you for watching. Until next time.